Welcome back. The Delta variant of COVID-19 drove up case numbers and fatalities in Mississippi and around the world.
Just because our cases have fallen doesn't mean that Delta has gone away. In fact, it appears to be evolving. Joining us now with his thoughts on the so-called Delta Plus variant is Dr. Timothy Quinn. Dr. Quinn, hello, and thank you for being with us.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Explain why we're looking at an apparently new variant based on Delta.
Well, basically, this is being termed the Delta subvariant, and it's been given the title subvariant AY42. And basically what this is, as we talked about earlier in the programming, when viruses invade a host cell, they replicate millions of copies. Some of these copies can be a little bit different than the original. Now, in the event that the different copy, which is actually a mistake or a mutation, is different, but it gives it an advantage. Like, for instance, with this Delta Plus, what's being noted is with that spike protein, the part of the virus that attaches to the cell, it's actually more, it has an advantage, it's better. So that's why this subvariant is becoming something we're watching, because it's already reached 6% of the infections in the UK. Not so much here yet, but we're watching it, because if that's the case, this could be a big problem for the United States.
Well, since you talk about 6% in the United Kingdom, so this is something then that has, I guess, just like the Delta variant started in somewhere else in the world, it could spread here then.
That is correct, and that's why there are so many restrictions on travel. Now, the CDC director, Dr. Walensky, she did a lot of programming yesterday where she reported on it, and she said right now there are no changes to the travel restrictions due to this subvariant, but they're watching it very closely. I actually communicated with Dr. Dobbs with the Mississippi State Department of Health today, and he confirmed that no cases have been identified in Mississippi as of today, but it's still a good idea that we continue to watch, because we need to know what's going on so that we can prepare ourselves, because we really don't want another surge right now.
So this isn't the only mutated strain, though, of COVID-19, is it?
Not at all. I mean, viruses mutate. That's why, you know, for instance, the flu, we get a new flu shot every year, because the flu, it mutates like any other virus or any other life form, because usually if something such as a virus gets inside of a cell, it replicates, and then there are different copies, but they can be different. These are the mutations. But what we have to do is vaccinate as many people as possible and cut down on the infection rate, because the more we can cut down on people getting infected, the more we can cut down on the possibility of even more mutations. And the more mutations we get, the more likely that some of these mutations could be even more deadly. And we just have to get people vaccinated, get these boosters if you're eligible, and just cut this infection rate down.
When you talk about the vaccines and things like that, this variant hasn't outsmarted the vaccine, has it? I mean, the vaccine's still effective against it?
Right now, according to the reports, Dr. Walensky, she was on a lot of programming on yesterday, and she noted that the evidence is not yet showing that this new Delta subvariant mutant strain is more able to evade the vaccines according to the information they have, but they're still watching it. Now, there are some reports from other countries, to include England, where they're starting to question the effectiveness of the vaccines with this new sub-Delta strain. So we're just watching it very closely, but we're just letting everybody know what's going on and encouraging people to get vaccinated.
Yeah, that's the secret. Get that vaccine, get that, and get the booster. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Dr. Timothy Quinn.